And it's October now, and it's time to revisit some of the species that I have identified over the summer. And I mentioned when I first introduced the flowering dogwood that its bark was unique. It had 1/4-inch squares and polygons that cover the tree. This one's a little larger than the one I identified a few months ago. This one's probably 4 inches around, which is pretty big for a dogwood tree. And the larger trees and the trees that get more sun often get flowers and berries as a fruit of that flower. And this one has lots of berries on it and beautiful fall foliage. So you got white flowers in the spring and a crimson orange foliage in the fall and crimson berries. And this is a very popular landscape plant for that reason. It does grow wild in many parts of the country. It often grows more commonly in areas where there's sun, at least part of the time. It does not do well in deep shade. And it is sharing the woods with some red cedars here at the Cox Arboretum in Dayton, Ohio. And this is actually what they call a red cedar glade. This was abandoned farmland before it came into public ownership. And it was heavily eroded from probably a lot of livestock tromping on this hillside. And the soil was very lacking in nutrients and lacking in anything that could be used to provide good tree growth. So what ended up growing here instead is these red cedar trees, which will grow in poor soils that have eroded away from poor farming practices. So this is what they call a cedar glade. They're common in Kentucky. We've got some in Ohio in the hillier country that is abandoned farmland. But they also make great habitat for the flowering dogwood because there's plenty of sun here.